Hey everyone, I'm Michael Bruce, CMO at Agent Moves, and welcome to our Good to Great series. We're all about sharing amazing stories of top realtors and how they got there so we can help make more realtors great. So let's jump in today with our guest, Shari Smith. Hey, Shari.
Hi, Michael. How are you?
Okay, great. Thank you. And thank you for being
Good.
here today. Really
Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
having me.
And as people that are watching some of these videos know, we love to start with something not about real estate, since the whole conversation will be about real estate, and some really cool things about Shari. So maybe a bunch of you agents have done this, but she has been building a 3,600 square foot home. And yeah, it's not the building of the home we're going to talk about, but this has been an 8-year project, and she's been living in a camper for 8 years. And we're looking at her camper right now. And
True story. You see my kitchen supplies on the right and my prayer wall on the left. So there you go. Too bad it doesn't have a blurred screen.
so tell us how this started 8 years ago. You had this dream, and well, first, how was it taking 8 years? And then how did the camper come about and so forth?
So my husband decided he wanted to build his own house. We lived in a house in Cape Coral, half acre, 4 bedroom, 3 bath, pool. Said, let's sail. We prayed about it. We got the answer from God. And so we built out here and kind of dedicated the house and the property to using it for whatever God's purpose was. And I think the enemy heard it because we had COVID. We've had 3 hurricanes. We had bad appraisals. We have had wetland issues. You name it, it's happened. So now God has us on track, and hopefully by the end of the year, we'll be finished.
Okay, God is one thing, but it tells me you are a person that does not give up.
You are right. I don't. Once I'm doing it, I'm in it to win it.
Amazing, just fabulous. And you're working in real estate with your son as well, right?
Correct. Yep. My son and I started a business. He had graduated high school. He wasn't sure. He was going to wait a year. I said, get your real estate license. I had mine, but I really didn't do anything. I was a fifth grade teacher. And he got into KW. I was already there, but like I said, I was teaching. And he said, why don't you quit teaching and come start a team? We can do this. And I'm like, $1,000 isn't a whole lot of money a year, Alex, but at least I know what my paycheck's going to be, right? So so again, threw out a fleece to Gideon and answered, and we started our business, and now we're doing really well. So
What a great story.
best blessing ever.
And it's 99% of the time the other way, the parents trying to get their kids involved in the business. And this is just one of those great stories.
Yep, he's very motivated. He knows his numbers. He's the driver. So when we first started our business, he was in charge of all listings because that's his personality. And I did all the buyers because that was my personality. So since then, he's transitioning into commercial and land, and I've taken over all the residential.
Gotcha. Great. Well, just a great family story. And I have 3 kids, and just being close to your kid and having a business like this, it's like an amazing gift that you have, really.
Absolutely. And my baby was in it. He got his license. He's like, don't like it. I'm going into referral status.
Perfect. So now tell us, you told us a little bit you were a teacher, and
Mm-hmm.
this is what kind of motivated you. So tell us about the first year you decide to, okay, I'm not going to be a teacher. I'm doing this full time.
So, Alex and we kind of divvied up the jobs based on our personality. In the beginning, we started just working with whoever our contact was. Well, quickly, within 2 or 3 months, it just became kind of a jumbled mess. You know what I mean? I was working listings. We were kind of helping support each other. And we found that our personalities honestly fit. He fit listings because, listings are kind of like, sell my house, I never want to see you. Buyers are like, I love you forever and I want to be your family. So that fit my personality. So from about probably month 3 or month 4, he loved cold calling at the time. So that fit with listings. And then I got buyers through networking, referrals. I had a large SOI, and then agent to agent referrals. That was our 3 top businesses.
Beautiful. Okay, so you get this thing going now with your son, right? You're in year 2 or 3, and now you're kind of splitting up. Tell us a bit about how, some of the things that you encountered in growth. First, I want to hear some positive stuff that you did, and then we'll talk about something that you'll never do again.
Yeah. So Alex was we were Keller Williams. He was very MREA, and we followed it to a T. We did that. We hired an assistant, we hired a buyer agent, and we worked with that. So following the MREA, because he had dreams of having a mega agent team.
Mm-hmm.
And then we kind of got into that. We started growing, and then we just got into the growth pains of finding the right buyer agent, finding the leads, and then I had the opportunity to become the team leader at our local Keller Williams. So I did step out of selling. And at that point, he and I kind of talked. He decided he didn't want to do the mega agent team. He really just wanted to be a single agent, maybe get a buyer agent or a showing assistant with a personal assistant and live like that, because he really wanted to go into commercial and land. Mm-hmm. Then after those 2 years that I was team leader, I got back into the business and I took over residential.
Gotcha.
So, we really followed the MREA almost to a T.
Wow, beautiful. And created this business. And so, okay, so now you both decide, okay, you're going to keep this growing now as solo agents. Yep. Together, you really focused on residential, which this is much more about residential, what we're doing here. So tell me a little bit about the experience of then growing. It sounds like how much was from your sphere, and then how much was from, being around the community and so forth.
So one of the things that we had never done other than do Facebook ads, we never purchased any leads from Zillow or any of those. We grew naturally, organically. Most of them was referral. I was a networker, so I liked doing community events, and Alex was a cold caller. Really, we kind of together made the perfect solo agent, because what he liked, and I didn't, and what I liked, and he didn't. So we were really able to capitalize on both of our personalities.
Absolutely fabulous. So to tell me about events. Are these events you're doing, or you're going to, or both?
So we have done events. We've not had as many events probably the last year and a half since I've gotten back into it. But prior to, we would always have an event a quarter. One event, we took them to the Atlanta Braves spring training. We got tickets, sent tickets out. Anyone that wanted to come could. We watched that. We've had a farm day. And we had a local picnic at a horse farm, and they got to ride horses, and we made root beer floats, and we always did drawings. We do the traditional pie giveaway. Mm-hmm. Before then, our people who buy with us the previous year, and then our core referrals, we will do Christmas gifts. So at a local bakery, we get crumb cake and homemade bread, and they wrap it in cellophane, and then we hand deliver it to those 45 or 50 people the week before Christmas. We do pop buys a lot, the little small s'mores jars. I'm kind of crazy, so I like those little puns, you know what I mean? We need s'more referrals or whatever. You're the heart of our business. So all the holidays, we usually try to hit those with so we have a very close database and referral business, because we keep in touch with them.
Beautiful. And that is the key. I think the success I've seen with the most successful agents is staying in touch with your database.
Yep. And staying top of mind. It's so easy for people to forget. Everywhere you meet, every second person's a real estate agent, right? So many times, especially for me, it was a career change. So many people think of me as a teacher. I'm not an automatic, real estate agent. I'm always a teacher until I change that. And it's my job and my responsibility to change it, and my friends and my family, not them to remember it. So I'm kind of hardcore on that. People will get upset. Look, it's easy to forget. It's your job to make sure they remember.
Exactly. So easy. I was speaking to an incredibly successful agent, and she was telling me her story, going in to her manicure place for 8 years. And her cards were out there, right? Knows this person like crazy for 8 years. She decides over 6 months she's going to do gardening, and says, you know what? I'm going to pass on the manicures for a while. The next thing she knows, that person who owned her manicure shop used a different real estate agent to sell her house. And she was outraged. But it's to the point of being consistently in front of them, right? It's the agent's job to, pleasantly, keep them front and center. So when that time comes, they're ready.
And being front and center in a caring way, in a I'm doing life with you way. Like one of the jokes, and I always said it at my open houses when I taught fifth grade, was, I know you think you only have me for 180 days. However, what you don't know is once I have your kid, you're stuck with me for life. So that's what I would always say to my buyers. I know you think that this is going to be a smooth process, and at close, you're never going to see me again, but you're very wrong.
Very good. Very good.
So,
Yeah. So tell me something that you wouldn't do again for another agent that, you tried and you just would not. Like, good examples were you hadn't bought ads. So that's a cool one. Some are like locked in, others feel I'm never going to buy an ad. But tell me.
and some of those, as far as buying leads, I think we probably could have gotten bigger more quickly had we bought leads. But we came in that, like, that little era where Keller Williams was like, don't buy leads, don't buy leads, don't buy leads. Then all of a sudden, like, once we were already there and we had a pretty solid database, and then leads were through the roof at that point, then it was like, maybe you should buy leads. You know what I mean? So I think that for people who want to get in and make money quickly, I'm very lucky. My husband has a job, so it wasn't like I was going to starve if we didn't have a house. My son was still 18, so he was home. That maybe investing in smart leads might be beneficial to someone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so probably something that I wouldn't do. I don't know. So I'm not. The thing about Alex and I are we don't ever say we wouldn't have done it, because it was always a learning experience. So
Yes.
sometimes I struggle with what wouldn't I have done. I wouldn't have taking a leadership job and been out of the business for 2 years, because then I had to rebuild my database for a year and a year and a half. And that is difficult.
That's a great one, by the way. And I have heard that from a number of agents because they get so involved in building a team, they stop their own production.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, keep that going. That's your full-time job, basically. And yes, then help grow the team. But it's the other way around, the excitement of, training and working with the team. And all of a sudden it's 6 months, a year later, and their business have dried up.
Well, and their team have used those team members have used them as a stepping stone, and now they don't have them anymore. They're the ones that made the contact with your database. And what are you left with if you're not working it? So that's definitely a valid.
Yeah, yeah. So be sure, to your point, like be sure when you're ready to make that jump, make sure you keep production, that you have that in your plan, right? Your schedule, whatever you're going to be doing, that you don't give that up.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit. Okay, so now you're coming in. I know you had a solid year last year, and this year sounds like could be a 40-50% growth. Tell us some of the things you're doing to grow the business this year.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with we're in touch with our database. Something for us that for me that's been pretty lucrative is doing open houses for builders. Right now the building in Florida, the builders, they're really killing the resale business because they're offering some great incentives. Why not get a 4.9 interest rate with all these incentives? So if you're sitting, I talked to a model, a community yesterday who needed help at a model. And if I'm sitting and doing work, my calling, my notes, whatever it is, I might as well sit in an open house or sit in a model home, because at least there's a chance that someone's going to be walking through the door. Whereas in my office, you don't even have the opportunity to meet a buyer,
Right.
Typically.
Right. But you can camp in your
Correct.
office.
Correct. Exactly.
Perfect. Hey, that's great advice as well. Some agents, 15 years open houses, love them. Others like, I never want to do an open house. It's interesting, the dynamics.
It's the signs. I hate putting out the signs, but you know what has encouraged me to do it? We also do open houses for a cause. So we'll pick a charity once a month, And then all of our open houses, we will collect donations to donate back to whatever that charity is. So it
Nice.
gives me a little bit of an incentive. I do better if I'm helping someone else. That's
Nice.
just my heart. That's just where I'm at. So I do better with, there's something going on outside my house and I don't know what it is, just so you know, in case you're wondering why I look that way.
Can't hear it, so we're okay.
So that I feel like I'm doing something. I'll door knock, I'll invite people to the open house, I'll do the social media ads, and then it also allows me to build relationships with nonprofits and the people there, that are part of the nonprofit.
Right. The more people that know you're a realtor,
The more
right?
people you know, yep,
Yeah, I have agents that say, you know what, I wear my name tag. I don't care where I go. I wake up in the morning, I put it on my t-shirt.
yep,
I don't care if I'm in the gas station, in the supermarket. Oh, you're a realtor. You never know.
yep, absolutely.
Right. Okay, so now here we go into 2025. Now you're looking at the market. Tell us some of the plans now for scaling. And I know that you don't really want to grow, you want to grow some business, but you're not looking to like bring on more agents to do it. So
Correct. And I'm not opposed to bringing on more agents as far as, but I want it to be an opportunity for them as well as us. Like once our business, it frees us up. There is one agent that we want to do some partnering with.
mhm,
But as far as creating that traditional, mega agent team, that's not. But our growth, my growth will be growth through finding listings, since my son is going into commercial and into land, and then growing that side of the business for him.
got it. So what are you doing to stay in touch with outside of like I loved, all of the events and the little tchotchkes and the creative messaging tied to it. Great. What do you do to stay in touch on, like, is it monthly, weekly? How do you stay in touch with your database?
Honestly, we stay in touch with our really good core database. We do have, some automated emails that'll go out once a month to the entire database. But like I said, I mean, we have about 150 people that I'm just really close to. So things that I do in my community, I host a Bible study. I create online communities for the Bible studies or for women. So I'm constantly doing that, inviting people. So it's all natural, organic calling. Alex calls more for home evaluation. We have, I don't even know, and this is probably terrible, I don't even know what the software is, but where they can click on and request a home evaluation, and
Mm-hmm.
then we do that. The plan is probably not as pristine as it should be, simply because you can tell I just talk a lot, so it's a lot of natural talking.
Gotcha. Okay, no, that's wonderful. Listen, we're all authentic. I think that's what people are attracted to.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, when you get in front of someone, I'm sure you have a very, very high conversion rate of them working with you.
Well, Alex used to get so mad because he would do the calls, and his conversion rate, like for sale by zoners and expireds, was like 9% or 10%, whereas mine was always like 95 or 100%. He's like, I can be on the phone all day long, and you walk into a nail salon and you get 2 referrals immediately. And I'm like, well, I just talk a lot.
Beautiful. Love it. Love it. All right, this was awesome. Sherry, really appreciate it. Are you doing things on social media? Like you want people to follow you there?
Yes, we do have our Facebook page. We do have, I partner with another agent, and we do interview builders. And so we have a Facebook page and a YouTube channel for just kind of getting to know the local communities, the builders here. We'll do tours of their houses. So we have some of those going on. Again, I do social media, but again, it's more for my sphere or my
Yes.
groups.
Yeah. Yeah. And so how do we find you on social? How can people follow you?
So it would be Smith and Jesco Family Real Estate on Facebook, and then Real Estate Foundations with Shari and Katie on.
Beautiful. Okay, great. That's what we want to do here is try and get some people to follow you and hopefully grow your business a bit. And please follow Agent Moves as well and sign up,
Absolutely.
subscribe on our YouTube channel. And until next time, Sherry, I really appreciate the time. I think you gave us some great advice, and let's see where it takes us.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed it.